So let's talk about something that drives pretty much every IELTS student crazy. Your listening score is stuck, right? You practice, you listen to everything you can, but you just can't seem to break through. Well, what if I told you the way you're practicing is actually the problem? Today, we're going to break down a method that's all about training your ears, not your eyes. Okay, let's get right into it. You probably use subtitles when you're watching videos or practicing your listening. We all do. It feels productive, it feels safe, but I want you to really stop and ask yourself this question. Are they truly helping you learn how to listen? You know, the common sense answer is, of course they help. But the truth is, well, it's not that simple. And when you see what your brain is actually doing when those subtitles are on, you might be a little shocked. This leads us right into what I call the subtitle trap. It's this habit that feels super safe and helpful, but in reality, that feeling of comfort is the very thing that's probably keeping your score from going up. Okay, think about it like this. When the subtitles are on, your brain kind of cheats. It takes the easy way out. You're not actually listening anymore. Your eyes take over and you're just reading. This gives you this false confidence that you understood everything. But when you switch to active listening, no subtitles, you're forcing your brain to do the hard work. You're actually building the mental muscles you need for the real test. Let's just be real for a second. On test day, there is no safety net. There are no subtitles. You get to hear the audio one time and that's it. You can't pause it, you can't rewind it. It's a one-shot deal. So your practice has to be just as demanding.
So if relying on our eyes is the trap, then what's the escape plan? Well, it's simple. We have to start training our ears. It's time to shift our focus away from passively reading words on a screen and start actively decoding the sounds we hear.
And the goals of this method are super focused. We're training you to do 4 things: to pick out those crucial keywords, to get good at guessing meaning from context when you miss something, to build up your short-term memory for note-taking, and most of all, to put all your focus on your ears. It's a complete workout for your listening skills. All right, so you get the why. Now let's get into the how. We're going to walk through a really clear 5-step method that will turn you into an active listener. Okay, here's the game plan. Step 1, find an audio clip with a transcript, but do not look at it. Just listen once. Your only job is to figure out the gist of it. Step 2, listen to it again, but this time you're taking notes. Grab those keywords, names, dates, whatever details you can catch. Then, and only then, you move to step 3, read the transcript. Now for step 4, you put on your detective hat. You compare your notes to the actual words. Where did you go wrong? What did you miss? Why did you miss it? And finally, the most important step, step 5. You listen one last time. No notes, no transcript, just you and the audio. And I'm telling you, that final step, that's where the magic happens. It's this incredible aha moment. You'll be amazed at how much clearer everything sounds and how much more you understand. That's your brain literally rewiring itself. It's a huge confidence booster. And hey, if you want to take that final step to the next level, try this technique called shadowing. It's exactly what it sounds like. As you listen, you repeat what the speaker is saying, just a split second behind them, like an echo. This is an awesome 2-for-1 deal because it locks in your listening skills and dramatically improves your own speaking and pronunciation at the same time. Now, I know what some of you might be thinking. 5 steps? That sounds like a lot of work. But listen, the secret here isn't about spending hours and hours. It's about consistency. So how do you actually make this a real daily habit? You don't need to reorganize your whole life for this. All it really takes is about 15 minutes. Seriously, that's it. A dedicated 15-minute session every day is way more powerful than a 2-hour cram session once a week. So, what could that look like? Well, maybe from Monday to Wednesday, you just work with super short clips, like 1 or 2 minutes long. On Thursday, you can challenge yourself with a full 10-minute section from a real IELTS test. And on Friday, you could do something fun, like find a short interview on YouTube that has a transcript. The idea is to mix it up and keep it from feeling like a chore. And finding this stuff is easier than you think. Of course, there are official IELTS practice recordings. BBC Learning English is amazing, especially if you're just starting out. And honestly, YouTube is a goldmine for short interviews and even podcasts that have transcripts. You just have to look.
All right, before we wrap this up, let's go through a few final pro tips. Think of these as the little things that make a huge difference.
First, don't try to run before you can walk. Start with easier audio and build your confidence. Second, please use headphones. You'll catch so many more details. Third, when you're reviewing the transcript, don't just look for mistakes. Actively look for cool new phrases and write them down. And finally, remember what we said about shadowing. Actually speak what you hear. It makes a world of difference.
But look, if you only take one thing away from this explainer today, let it be this. Your goal is not to understand every single solitary word. That's not what the IELTS is testing. It's about understanding the main message. Once you truly get that, so much of the pressure just melts away.
Getting rid of subtitles is about more than just a test score. It's about identifying a learning crutch, something that feels helpful but is actually holding you back, and having the courage to throw it away. So it leaves us with one final question for you. What's the next learning crutch you're going to remove? Thanks for joining us for this explainer.